Welcome in as we get set here for the night game between the Washington Spirit and North Carolina Courage. An exciting evening as both these teams look for their second win here in the NWSL Challenge Cup. I'm Josh Toll, and with me is the keeper, Jen Cooper. And Jen, both these two teams got off to a great start getting victories on Saturday. Now they go up against one another. How do you see this game going forward, and who are you looking to watch out for?
Well, there's so much on the line in this game because whoever wins jumps to the top of the standings. They don't want to draw. Neither team in this wants a draw. And of course, who we're looking at, two of the goal scorers from last weekend. Rose Lavelle creates her own goal off that rebound. She sent the through ball. Hatch tried to finish, bounced back, and there's your bronze ball winner from last summer to finish it off.
Rose Lavelle, one goal last season and now one goal right here in the NWSL Challenge. But for Paul Riley, he's going to lean on Lynn Williams.
Lynn Williams, no one in this tournament has scored more NWSL goals than Lynn Williams, and she delivered late but perfectly in the 94th minute to give North Carolina the go-ahead goal. She's an expert when it comes to the late goal. She has 3 playoff goals that came in extra time.
Nothing like getting a goal in stoppage time to give your team that first victory in the NWSL Challenge Cup. The question is it going to go to stoppage time again? Are we going to have final heroics from one of these teams? Or is one going to control from start to end? Well, we'll find out as we'll have the next 90 minutes. You're watching the NWSL Challenge Cup. Welcome back as we get set here for the Washington Spirit and the North Carolina Courage. Both teams getting 3 points Saturday when the NWSL Challenge Cup began, and now they look for their second 3 points, one hoping to leapfrog the other one in the standings. And it's going to be an exciting one tonight. Perfect conditions out in Herriman, Utah, as these teams look ready to go forward here in this match at Zions Bank Stadium.
And now to honor America, we will play the U.S. national anthem.
We are just moments away from kickoff between the Washington Spirit and North Carolina Courage. Both these teams with 3 points each. And now we'll take a look back and see how these two teams got here with a recap of what happened on Saturday.
First, a great goal from Rose Lavelle. She had the initial ball. Hatch tried to shoot it, bounced back after saved by the keeper. And boom, Lavelle for her first goal of the tournament. We only got one goal out of Lavelle last season, and now we've got one in one game. And then Ashley Hatch poaching the keeper, doing a great job of pressuring Alyssa Nair, getting her first goal of the tournament and helping the Spirit get a win over Chicago Red Stars.
Well, Spirit got the win in the night game, but to start the day off, North Carolina Courage took on Portland, and it went down to the wire.
Right, we had no goals before the 75th minute, Josh. Thankfully, you had rookie Haley Mace coming in with the cross, connecting with who else? Dabinia, the 2019 NWSL Championship MVP, to put North Carolina on the scoreboard first. Of course, Portland would answer pretty quickly to tie it up, but then Samantha Mewis in stoppage time, almost the exact same play as the first North Carolina goal, crossed from the right, headed by Lynn Williams. Boom, 2-1 win for North Carolina Courage.
Both Courage and Spirit with 3 points each, and now we'll take a look at the starting 11. A slightly different look for Richie Burke.
But all of these players, Josh, have already seen minutes in the Challenge Cup, unlike what we saw earlier today, where we had a lot of players getting their first minutes. Some of these players are getting their first starts, like Jenna Hellstrom, Maggie Dougherty-Howard, but of course, Rose Lavelle, Ashley Hatch up top, ready to get some more goals.
Roosevelt and Ashley Hatch, one behind Rachel Daly, who leads the Golden Boot race. But for North Carolina Courage, Paul Riley making some changes to his starting 11.
Right, we're seeing Meredith Speck in that box midfield, getting her first start since 2018 for North Carolina. Kaylee Kurtz slotting in for Abby Dahlkemper on the back line. Mackenzie Meehan, an acquisition mid-season last year from Sky Blue, starting up top. And Lauren Millay, 2019 draft pick, getting her first ever start for the Courage.
Addison Merritt getting her second straight start for the North Carolina Courage here this evening. So looking to build on the momentum that she brought on Saturday. We'll see how she continues to progress here in this NWSL Challenge Cup. There you get a great look at Ashley Hatch, played college soccer down at BYU. And Jen, it's going to be another one tonight where you have two teams very different in the way that they like to play, but very much want to beat one another and get into that first spot in the standings all alone.
I don't see either of these teams going with the Challenge Cup mindset of I just want players to see minutes. These teams have met 9 times before. There's never been a tie in those meetings. What's interesting, I think, is that North Carolina has won 8 of those 9 meetings, but their most recent meeting was a Washington Spirit come from behind win.
And we are underway. North Carolina in the white kits, Washington Spirit in the blue kits, and North Carolina will play it all the way down. And turning away is Nielsen, and that's going to roll out. And goal kick coming for Aubrey Bledsoe. But you look at these two teams, how different are they? Well, North Carolina, they like to put the foot down on the pedal. They like to try to get out on the front foot as much as possible. Meanwhile, for the Spirit, they will build up and they will play with patience. They are going to rely on a younger back line to help lead the defensive charge. But you look at what Richie Burke likes, fundamentals. He does not like to be out of position. He wants to try to stay in position as much as possible to limit mistakes.
And you talk about that younger back line, that younger roster. The Spirit, youngest roster in the tournament by far. But still so much experience on that roster when you look at the international experience of Captain Andy Sullivan, Rose Lavelle, even Ashley Hatch. She earned a few caps with the U.S. national team, actually getting her first ever cap in Utah.
Big jump from 2018 to 2019 for the Spirit. 2 wins in 18 and then 9 in 2019.
Big overhaul for the Spirit last season. Lot of great rookies that they brought in, lots of first-round draft picks. I feel that they could be what the Western New York Flash was in 2016, coming off of a great draft year the year before, and then all those players in their second year really bursting out.
Williams loses possession, and Doherty Howard plays it back. Doherty Howard getting her first start here in the NWSL Challenge Cup. As this is played back, Nielsen. Nielsen will bring it over to Huster. Huster plays it down the line. And turning is Riquero. Avoids the pressure of Hatch. Speck lays it off. Kurtz. Kurtz also getting her first start here in the NWSL Challenge Cup. Malay. Great look finding the Brazilian Debinha. Chance here, Meehan.
A laser ball coming across the box for Meehan, who couldn't quite get there in time.
Daniel sends it in on the cross. Well, we saw 2 goals for North Carolina coming via the cross on Saturday. They were looking for that first one right there. And now Lavelle charges forward. Hatch in the channel. First set coming over. Hatch, her rookie year spent with North Carolina, where she had 7 goals in Rookie of the Year. Sullivan shot, and that one blocked away by LeBay, the first stop of the night for the Canadian.
Sullivan with 2 goals on the season in 2019, her first pro goals. Getting that shot on target early.
And we saw Washington be a little bit more aggressive on Saturday than we saw in 2019, an area that they built upon. Really have taken it over from this preseason into the Challenge Cup.
Well, they had such a strong 2019. Some feel that they outperformed their roster, but with everything they've added, they're just getting stronger. And most importantly, to have a healthy, rested Rose Lavelle in the middle, combined with a back line that has a lot of experience playing together, and of course backstopped by 2019 goalkeeper of the year Aubrey Bledsoe. Such a great combination.
This one knotted up and out of play by Jaylene Daniels. Great look at Richie Burke there on the sideline, the second-year head coach. Hatch. That one just too far for Feist to get to. Feist, the Wake Forest product. Huster nods it back. Nielsen trying to reconnect with Huster. Coming over to help was Feist. Huster down the line. Right there is Daniels, but ball finds the feet of Hatch. Square ball inside. Lavelle can't handle. Debinha through ball. Meehan stutters. Good job on the recovery by Paige Nielsen. Debinha, the Brazilian, fires corner, and that one off the woodwork. What a great look from Debinha. Nearly had her second goal of the Challenge Cup.
She likes to score first. She scored first in both of North Carolina's playoff games last season. Scored first in their game Saturday night.
What a great look there from Debinha. She teed that one up. That's 3 inches to the left. That's the first goal for the Courage. Take a look back here at this replay. Great chance for North Carolina.
Meehan doing the work on the left-hand side, not being able to get past her mark, but sending it over to Debinha to take that laser shot that unfortunately hits off the post. And that whole play, we keep seeing Debinha sending those through balls. Really great, finding that seam to send the ball through for Meehan.
North Carolina showing how quickly they can work it up the field. They get the ball and they go right away. You have to have endurance if you want to play for this Paul Riley squad. Daniels sends it into the area. Lynn Williams was in the vicinity. But once again, you see another cross coming from that left flank.
And Jaylene Daniels, formerly Jaylene Hinkle, married in the offseason. She's an original member of this Courage Club, having come from the Western New York Flash when the club was bought in 2017 and moved to North Carolina, along with several of her teammates. The roster retention for the Courage is one of the big reasons that they've become a dynasty. There's no other word for it.
You can keep those players in place. You can build that culture. You can build that community in the team, and it's paid dividends. Paul Riley in his 7th year in the NWSL. The giveaway, Lavelle gets by Recaro. Lavelle into the area, stops. Debinha goes out wide. Daniels with that left foot. Williams trying to get around Huster. Huster able to play that out for a throw.
Huster, as we've mentioned before, the only member of the Spirit remaining from their inaugural NWSL roster in 2013, which of course means she's the oldest player on the team.
Next in line for oldest is Aubrey Bledsoe at 28.
And that's not even a field player, right?
And now Debinha will come over for the corner. Driven in, headed away. Daniels giving chase. Sends it right back in.
This is the same back four that started last Saturday against Chicago Red Stars, but they're getting tested a lot more early on than they were last weekend.
Lavelle, she'll fire from distance, and that one off. She had LeBay off her line. Thought she could sneak it past her.
Wow, today has been all about shots from distance, none of which, of course, have gone in yet, but lots of shots from distance.
Especially in that second half with Portland. Staub, the second-year player out of Clemson, plays the Nielsen. Richie Burke is all about possession, wants to complete 500 passes a game.
I wonder if there's somebody sitting on the sideline logging that, right?
It's got to be assistant coach.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Bursek.
We haven't seen her have to touch the ball much yet in this game. The captain for the Courage, and as Paul Riley likes to call her, the catalyst for the Courage.
Kurtz getting that first start here in the NWSL Challenge Cup. Giving Abby Dahlkemper a little breather, at least for the moment. Keep hearing that from these coaches. Load management and just wanting players to be healthy. Give minutes to others as this pass has too much weight.
And Kaylee Kurtz, she has the last 2 seasons for the Courage stepped in on that back line several times, and every time she's been that replacement player, she's played the full 90. So she's used to playing the entire game on that back line. She is really their #1 filler, right?
So last year's goalkeeper of the year. Nielsen gets around Williams. Played out to Huster. His touch, but kept in by Sullivan. Hatch plays it forward. And Kurtz will play this back to the Canadian LeBay. Bursek giving chase the bell right there. Daniels in the middle of the park.
She's usually over on the left, Josh. I mean, we've heard Paul Riley call her the best left back in the league, the best left back in the world. It's all about the left foot.
McGrady. This will be recycled back. That's the thing with the Spirit. If they see something they do not like, they are not afraid to start over. They will use the whole pitch to work it up and down. Sullivan. Nielsen goes all the way back to Bledsoe. Williams giving chase. And we've seen some mistakes here early by goalkeepers, but Bledsoe able to get that pass off before Williams could attack. That's another thing that you'll see from North Carolina is high pressure put on by these forwards. Lavelle. Trying to get it back to Sullivan. She sends it outside, but that's going to be too far for Dorian Bailey.
I think one of the benefits for the Spirit in this game, Josh, is with all of these players having already seen time in the tournament, everybody's kind of in the groove, right? Almost all of these players were starters last Saturday. So you're not starting from scratch the way we saw, you know, Portland had to today because of injuries, and Chicago going with a completely new starting 11. You've got some relationships here, not just from last year, but also from the year before. And I feel like Richie Burks is just building on those.
Speck plays it back. Kurtz. Merrick. The rookie on the far touchline. Sends this one across as it goes out of play. Corner kick coming once again for the Courage.
And Merrick really being a surprise starter for their outside right back. Both Saturday and today. Draft pick out of Kansas and Big 12 Defender of the Year.
Chance here on the corner piece now for North Carolina. 15 minutes into this one. Lofting ball. And that one stopped by Bledsoe. Bledsoe, when you, in 2018, have 108 saves, and then last year, 86 saves, you know she can do a good job stopping the ball.
Both times leading the league, both times tied for the league lead with Kaylin Sheridan, which is kind of funny. And when she played against the North Carolina Courage last September, when the Spirit pulled out their first ever win against the Courage, 6 saves to help them get that win.
Huster. Hatch with the back heel. Speck coming back to help. Dabinia striding forward. Millay. Millay out of Colorado College as she gets a little space. Creates some more. Sends it into the 6, and right there, Bledsoe. Well, you got to think that Bledsoe and the Spirit team went back and watched some film and saw the success that North Carolina had on those crosses. Bledsoe knew exactly where to be right at that 6.
They didn't have to study that very long to be able to read, okay, we're gonna have to watch for the crosses.
You see it in the 2 goals, you know what's coming.
Yeah. And here's an advantage for an opponent when the roster hasn't changed very much. You know these players, you can find film on these players, you know what they're capable of doing. So your challenge is more, well, how do you shut it down? Where some of the other teams in the tournament, you don't know what lineup they're going to come out with. There's so many different players. Coaches are testing lineups. This is a much more, I'd say, traditional NWSL regular season match.
McGrady. There's Addison Merrick. She is tripped up.
Of course, we've got a few players out of this game. You know, Allie Watt, unfortunately, she did tear her ACL in the game last Saturday, so she's out for the tournament. Merritt Mathias still on the sideline after her knee injury last fall. Jess McDonald nursing a right thigh injury, but we should see her later in the tournament. Washington only missing Crystal Thomas, who's out with a right quad strain, so we should see her in the tournament later.
Sullivan. Jordy Howard plays it out to McGrady. McGrady head up, goes into the area. That one just too far for the Spirit. Washington still looking for a chance on target. Meanwhile, Debinha had a great opportunity earlier in this first half. Just unable to bend it in as it hit off the woodwork.
And a lot of great through balls.
Paul Riley said the one thing he'd like to get better at in this game is possession. Huster. Lavelle drops it off. Jordy Howard switches sides. Down the line. Bailey loses possession. There once again is rookie Addison Merrick.
Stephanie LeBay taking her time with the ball. We should give a shout out to Stephanie LeBay. It's Canada Day.
Her and Jenna Hellstrom for the Spirit.
And Lindsay Agnew, also on the bench for the Courage. Lots of Canadians in NWSL, of course.
This one chopped down. Nielsen. McGrady on the touchline. Staub. Staub last year played every minute for the Spirit. One of 3 rookies to do that in the NWSL.
In NWSL history. And one of the other 2 is also in this game. Jaylene Daniels did it as a rookie in 2015.
And Megan Oyster was the other player. Daniels, that one chopped out. Bailey. Vaquero in pursuit. Lays it off for McGrady. And right there is Addison Merrick. She read that pass all the way. Vaquero. Finds Merrick. Merrick able to keep it in. She'll send another cross in, and that one played out by Staub. Malay gives it a go. Daniels brings it back outside with that left foot off Huster.
Nice body block by Tori Huster.
There's one thing Daniels is not afraid to do. It is move forward on the pitch.
A lot of assists in her NWSL career, and even a couple of goals.
Lavelle looking at dispossessed Speck. Kurtz comes up to help. Lavelle going up to head that one down. Soccer fans, the official shop of the NWSL is coming soon. Visit NWSLshop.com now and sign up to be the first to receive special offers and promotions. NWSLshop.com, the official place to gear up and support your favorite team, coming soon.
You'll be able to buy jerseys like what the players are wearing tonight. We've got a new home kit for the Washington Spirit, new away kit with 2 stars for North Carolina Courage. Of course, I'm hoping the goalkeeper jerseys will be available as well. And I know right now, if you go to the site, there's nothing there other than to sign up for notification, but you definitely want to sign up for notification. So as soon as the store launches, you'll know about it and you'll get special deals. And I'm thinking, since we're on an international broadcast, Josh, that they have international shipping. Fingers crossed, because I know all the international fans out there love this league and want to support it and want to buy the jersey of their favorite player.
Daniels. And that one sails over everyone. Well, they went short on the set piece. Daniels able to get a little space to send that towards the back post, but no one there for the Courage. But showing a little bit of different wrinkles here on these set pieces. We'll see how that changes as the NWSL Challenge Cup continues. Both these two teams getting wins on Saturday. For North Carolina Courage, they defeated the Portland Thorns 2-1. And Richie Burke and his Washington Spirit defeated Chicago Red Stars 2-1.
So the winner tonight jumps to the top of the standings. A tie means they remain tied at the top of the standings, but as I mentioned earlier, these teams have never tied. I don't see a tie tonight. I might be jinxing it, Josh, but I don't see a tie.
That one off the bar as that hit the post.
Awkward save for Stephanie LeVay, but she kept it out.
A chance there for the Spirit. And now we've seen two shot attempts hit the post and go wide. And now North Carolina will have to reset as they get ready for this corner. Jordy Howard will head over for the Spirit. That one punched up. Nielsen tracks it down. Sends it right back towards the top of the box. That one cleared away by Abby Urseg. Lavelle. Good battle here between her and Lynn Williams. Lynn Williams ultimately winning that time. Plays it forward. Nielsen.
Nielsen doing just great work both ends of the field, helping the attack, helping the defense. She's the teeth in that defense.
Most clearances last year in the NWSL.
And earned the team's only red card last year. The club's first straight red card, actually.
Pushes it up the touchline. That one kept in by Huster. Huster now going against Speck, and Lynn Williams coming over to help. Feist. Three Cincinnati players right there for the Spirit touching the ball. McGrady. McGrady missed a majority of last season with an injury, but she is back and fully healthy. Daniels. Feist trying to fight through Daniels, and Daniels doing a good job of protecting that ball. LeVay last year, 8 clean sheets on the season. Played in 16 games. Meanwhile, Aubrey Bledsoe with 9 clean sheets. She was the goalkeeper of the year. She has her work cut out going against this North Carolina team who set a league record once again with goals scored in a season with 54. Beauty stolen away. Spirit, they are all about possessing the ball as much as possible. They are not afraid to milk the clock and try to catch you out of position. They will look for the open spaces. That time stolen away by Williams. Williams with room to work with. Sends it wide. Williams, that game winner in stoppage time against Portland. That one off target, though.
And Josh, I know our international fans are really antsy about waiting for NWSLshop.com to go live, but until it does, you may be able to buy from the individual teams. Some of them do offer international shipping. You can go to any of the team's website. You can get there from NWSLsoccer.com, click on the team site. Many of them have a shop already. but of course the league wanting to launch a league-wide shop, so everything's in one place, and also having some NWSL gear and more customization, and so you don't have to wait to buy NWSL gear, but I would definitely go to NWSLshop.com, sign up, so as soon as the store launches, you know about it, and you get some special offers.
Sullivan plays it out. Hatch. But speed versus speed here between Hatch and Daniels. Former teammates. Ashley Hatch, of course, her rookie year with the North Carolina Courage.
7 goals as a rookie, tying the record for a rookie. Jasmine Reeves had the same 7 in 2014.
A beautiful night in Utah. Deloy Hansen doing a great job putting this tournament together, opening up his facilities and giving these players everything they need to live here for the next 30 days, or I should say for the 30 days of this tournament.
Well, and being able to provide not only the venues, this venue and also Rio Tinto Stadium, where we'll see the semifinals and the final, but several hotels where the players can safely remain in bubbles. Each team is, you know, in their own team bubble.
Housing provided, which has been great for these teams.
Entertainment provided.
I've seen Portland in a footy ping pong tournament.
Houston Dash had a table tennis tournament.
Meehan slowing it up. Grady on her. Coming over was Bailey to help take that ball away. Speck. Feist right there. Lavelle charging the other direction. Has Hatch up front. Lavelle slows up. Burseg on her. Dispossessed.
Look at that defense getting back. Especially Jaylene Daniels' run to get back in the middle as the rest of the defense had shifted over to shut down Lavelle. Lavelle so fast, she didn't have teammates there to help her.
Huster, now the circle. Huster with a shot, and that one left. Once again, seeing another shot from distance. Both teams trying to catch the keeper off guards.
And we've talked about this before. You know, it's tough for a keeper to replicate a game situation, right? It's hard enough for field players. It's even harder for keepers, especially when you're playing against your own teammates. You know what shots they're going to take at you. So I think the thought behind shooting from distance is maybe you're going to catch a keeper off guard. We've seen some keeper mistakes. We've seen some keeper mistakes result in goals, right? And it's kind of a sign to that keeper. It's like, you better have your eyes and hands ready at every moment.
We were talking about earlier today the importance of positioning for a keeper and how that can really affect the good and the bad. And right now we've seen both keepers in good position here this opening 30 minutes.
And communication with the line in front of them. And that's where I see both of these keepers having an advantage compared to some of the games we've already seen. The Spirit, exact same back four as Saturday, right? They already have a game together under their belt. North Carolina, just one change. Kaylee Kurtz coming into that back four in front of Stephanie LeBay. But Kurtz has many, many games playing in front of LeBay. Really, the only newbie is Addison Merrick, but she looks really smooth.
Scoreless right now at the moment as we're at the hydration break. Both these two teams at the top of the standings, each with 3 points, as both got a victory on Saturday. And now looking for 3 more points here today. You look at the last time these two teams met, the Spirit trailed in that one. They came back, and at the time they had a chance to make the playoffs. And what a game it was. Rose Lavelle getting her first goal in a Spirit uniform, and then Mallory Pugh ultimately would get the game winner. But it was the first time ever in history that the Spirit were victorious against this North Carolina Courage club.
Spirit had a great run towards the end of the season, not quite getting into that playoffs, but, you know, positioning themselves for a great 2020, and with, you know, the draft picks they made to go along with it, and the international players and also Americans who have played internationally that Richie Burke signed, you know, like bringing Canadian Jenna Hellstrom in, Jade Boissiere coming back from France, Brooke Hendricks, Jessie Scarpa, Kumi Yokoyama, who we saw Saturday night, you know, the Japanese player. Some great great new players coming into the mix.
That's one of the things when you get that off season, you can really start to build the team that you see fit, and Richie Burke has definitely done that. We are back underway as Hersek plays it into the circle, headed away. This will come back.
And we talk about how these teams, they're, tied on top of the standings. Both had 2 goals, both conceded 1 goal. Neither has conceded a yellow card. So they're tied in every possible level. Of course, as the tournament goes on, it should be easier to spread these teams apart. But this game, the result of this game, could turn out to be one of the key tiebreakers in the standings.
Ursang. Dabinia. Daniels. 3 players around her. Lavelle. They'll wait on that pass as she sends it right to Abby Ursang.
And good news, Josh, I just got from our NWSL authorities, the NWSLshop.com will be open by the knockout stage of the tournament. So got to wait a couple weeks, but it's not that far away. Quarterfinals kick off July 17th and 18th. All 8 teams going to the quarterfinals. NWSLshop.com debuting at the same time.
Well, now you know when you can purchase your keeper jersey.
Oh, well, no guarantees that they're selling keeper jerseys. I'm just putting it out there.
Not,
they better have keeper jerseys.
You'll have great jerseys that you can purchase of many of these teams.
So many beautiful kits this season.
Lucero outside. Merrick. Malay. She has numbers working forward. Comes near side. Daniels. Step over to the left. No one on that back post. But once again, just seeing how dangerous Jaylene Daniels can be as she just works up that left side.
Not just a defender, but someone who can come up and provide, even finish as necessary. That whole left flank pretty open for the Spirit. Tori Huster staying with her, not quite shutting her down, but making her shoot wide.
Jaylene Daniels, I'd like to be able to track her one of these games, see how many miles she runs. And she is all over the place. She is a fun player to watch. Ursang. No one up front on the wing. Throw here for the Washington Spirit. Washington Spirit last year just out of the playoffs, 4 points away. But the success they found last year has carried over so far into this NWSL Challenge Cup.
And the Spirit did make the playoffs 3 straight years, 2014 to 2016, reaching the final in 2016.
Dabinia with that right, and that one blocked away by Nielsen. Nielsen doing a good job stepping in front. Malay. That one cut down by Huster. Bailey. Stop trying to find Hatch. Backing up is LeBay. Calmly plays it over to Kaylee Kurtz.
And Josh, there's almost no one left on the roster from that 2016 Spirit squad, but definitely I'm sure Tori Huster remembers losing that championship game because she lost it to Western New York Flash, which just a few months later became the North Carolina Courage. So sure, every time Huster plays against, Urseg and Mewis and all the group, Daniels, the whole group, she's thinking about that 2016 final. They were leading in extra time, gave up a goal, scored by Lynn Williams in the 124th minute, and then lost on PKs.
Speck laying it up, and Lynn Williams. The offside flag was up. Williams showing off a little bit of that speed. It looked like she was going to be able to keep that in on the in life. That flag is not up against her.
Williams, part of that 2015 draft class that the Flash had, the Flash that became the Courage. 4 first-round picks in 2015, Josh.
You like this?
Williams, Hinkle, who's now Daniels, Dahlkemper, and Samantha Mewis. The next year, they lead the team to a championship. So I kind of wonder with Washington Spirit, last year, 4 first-round draft picks. McGrady, DiBiase, I'm forgetting 2 others. Dorian Bailey. There's one more.
Jordan DiBiase. Oh, you said that one sent in and now cleared away.
Sam Staub. But I'm
Malay.
wondering if they're going to be that, like, a great draft class that gets a lot of good experience, a lot of minutes as rookies, and then really gels their second year.
Speck. Abby Urseg out of New Zealand. This last Friday, Australia and New Zealand announced that they will be hosting the 2023 World Cup.
Well, they didn't announce it, but they were relieved to hear FIFA announce it. And of course, the FIFA president took the longest possible time to say it. It was like a couple of words a minute. Okay, we're going to make the announcement. And now the winner is, and we're very proud to say, so excited for Australia and New Zealand. First time that we'll have joint host for a Women's World Cup. And really first time for that part of the world to host a Senior World Cup.
McGrady down the line, finds Dorian Bailey. Merrick out on her. It's the opposite side of the box. Benia. Williams, Houston trying to cut her off, unable to do so. Just too much weight on that pass from Lynn Williams. Williams back playing deep on that, helping out. Lynn Williams, she's gotten some run under Vlatko Andonovski with the U.S. women's national team. Vlatko Andonovski also in Utah right now watching these games. It's great to see him still scouting the talent here in the NWSL. Of course, the team that he coached last season played last night. That one ended up in a 0-0 draw between OL Reign now and Sky Blue FC. Malay. Vaquero. Speck. Speck working her way up. Williams in that one. Over the top. Williams with a couple opportunities, but neither one finding the frame.
And it's finishing that really has to improve for all these teams in the tournament, Josh. And that's probably the final piece that'll come. North Carolina, as we know, loves to take shots, even if they're not on target, right? Because you keep shooting, eventually some will go in. Last time these two teams played, North Carolina outshot Washington 27-6. Now that's not on target, that's just all shots, but crazy number.
You see the captain, Andy Sullivan, able to walk this off as you have the collision there with the high boots. Oh.
Kind of surprised that Dabinia wouldn't get a yellow for that. It's a dangerous play.
Neither of the teams yet have had a player handed a yellow card. Sullivan now looking to get involved on the wing, but right there, Daniels.
Yellow card's really important in this tournament, Josh, not just for the individual players, because if you earn 2 at any point before the end of the quarterfinals, you're sitting out the next game. But also for the teams as a potential tiebreaker in the standings. If 2 teams are tied on points, goal differential, total goals scored, the next thing is yellow card and red card accumulation.
Sullivan plays it outside. Doherty Howard. McGrady, and now they'll just recycle back past midfield. And Aubrey Bledsoe gives it over to Staub. Nielsen. She'll play this back. Bledsoe. A misplaced pass there by Aubrey Bledsoe, last year's goalkeeper of the year. She was also goalkeeper of the year in 2018-19 in the W League down in Australia. There you get our secret virtual watch party powered by Google Meet. Great to see the fans out.
I love the champion scarves.
North Carolina Courage, back-to-back champions, 3 straight NWSL shields.
They became the first team to win the NWSL championship and the Shield in the same season. It wasn't till 2018 that we had the #1 team in the regular season go on to win the championship.
Dabinia. That one ricochets Williams. Huster at midfield. Bursek plays it up, trying to find Riquero. Missed touch there by Andy Sullivan. Kurt's having a good game here, getting her first start in the NWSL Challenge Cup. Merrick, the rookie. Towards the back post, and good job there by Huster blocking out Lynn Williams. Almost looked like a basketball player there. Just shielding the body of Lynn Williams, preventing her from getting that pass. See a little bit of frustration there on Lynn Williams. Malay. Oh, nifty move there by Dabinia, but couldn't link up. Daniels. Daniels into the area, and great job there by Feist playing that out, but North Carolina will have a corner. Haley Feist, a second-year player out of Wake Forest. Jaylene Hinkler Daniels has been putting in work today. All the way back to the circle is Meredith Speck. Riquero. Having a turn and run is Ursag. Keeps it in.
She's so far up and so out of position compared to where she normally stays. North Carolina wants this goal. They want to go into the halftime locker room talk with a goal on the scoreboard.
That one deflected. Dabinia still in possession. At the spot. Riquero. Hatch trying to cut off Riquero. She tumbles to the ground. Kurtz. Speck plays it in with the left. And now Spear will just clear it out and try to resettle. See North Carolina trying to work down that left flank here in this first half with Jaylene Daniels. On Saturday, they went after the right side, but tonight, going on the left wing. 2 minutes of stoppage time here. Meehan. Daniels. Another corner as that one hits off Tori Huster, the 8-year vet.
And just as we see Daniels working up that flank, Huster's there almost every time to shut her down. Veteran versus veteran.
You're seeing one goal come off the corner piece, that one coming from the Houston dash. The service by Dabinia, punched away by Bledsoe. Merrick gets by 2 defenders. Merrick showing off a little bit of that athleticism that Paul Riley loves. Kurtz. Speck with room to work with right down the spine. combination play. Melton paying off. Daniels sends it in. Huster plays it right back to Abby Urseg. Recaro. Good sidestep by Recaro, and the shot just rising. Well, Recaro had space to work with. You could see the Spirit giving that middle of the pitch to North Carolina, and Recaro takes advantage.
Making the run through the middle. Again, shot from distance. That would have been her first NWSL goal ever.
But what a way to just fire away by Recaro. Just 6 inches above that crossbar. In the first half in the books, and we are scoreless between the Washington Spirit and North Carolina Courage. What a first half. We saw chances from distance. Neither team really able, other than this one by Dabinia, to get anything on target inside the box. But we'll have highlights from the previous action today and this one here in the NWSL Challenge Cup. Welcome back. We are at half here between the Washington Spirit and the North Carolina Courage, but in action earlier today, we saw the Portland Thorns take on the Chicago Red Stars, and early on, it looked like Portland was going to get on the board when rookie Morgan Weaver had a chance right there, but popped over the bar by Emily Boyd. A great look, but Boyd with a better save for the Red Stars in the 53rd minute. Thorns would get a shot by Herriman, and that would fall into the arms of Cassie Miller. Miller would make her NWSL debut here in the second half, and she would be tested right there. Then, in the 73rd minute, Tyler Lucy shot attempt blocked. Rocky Rodriguez gets an attempt, but just right of the frame. Had the look, had everything she needed, but just could not finish at the very end. And that game would end scoreless between the Thorns and the Red Stars as we take a look at the updated standings.
They look a little strange right now, Josh, with 4 sets of teams tied not only on points, but goal differential and goals scored. But with tonight's game and the lineups this weekend, 4th of July weekend, 4 matches, we should really start to see the standings move apart.
Washington and North Carolina looking to be one of the teams that's going to get that second win. Who will come up on top? We will find out as we will continue action here in the NWSL Challenge Cup presented by P&G and Secret. Welcome back. We are scoreless here at half between the Washington Spirit and North Carolina Courage. Both teams getting chances, but neither one able to connect. We'll have highlights for you when we return. Welcome back. 45 minutes in the books as the sun sets behind the Wasatch Mountains. And a scoreless one here between the Washington Spirit and the North Carolina Courage. But both teams with opportunities in that first 45.
Most of the opportunities, of course, coming from the Courage. But here, first one, nice shot from distance by Andy Sullivan. Look, LeBay has to stretch out to make that save, but then it just became Courage, working that left flank. Debinha, insane ball bouncing off the post. A keeper's best friend to keep North Carolina Courage off the scoreboard. 23rd minute, Spirit working it up the left. Funny bounce, and again, the post saving the keeper to keep this game scoreless. And then stoppage time, Kerry Recaro. I love this. Never had an NWSL goal. Rips a shot from outside the arc, just over, but that would have been a fantastic way to end this first half.
Recaro with a late chance there in stoppage time. Both teams getting looks from distance as we take a look at the match stats from their first half. Jen, what stands out to you so far in the first 45?
The possession is really interesting when it felt like that first half was North Carolina, especially down that left flank. But as we talked about earlier, Richie Burke is really focusing on possession. You mentioned that he wanted them to complete 500 passes a match. So Washington is hoping that that possession stat will lead them to a victory.
What are you looking for coming out of here into this second half?
I want goals, and I'm thinking we're going to see some subs that'll bring us some goals. And we know these teams have never tied, and I don't think either one of them is going to come anywhere near to settling for a tie in this match.
Both coaches have talked about how they want to win this tournament. They want to see this tournament more often. We're hearing that from a lot of these coaches, how they would like to have one every year. But we are going to see some new players in to start the second half for the North Carolina Courage. And those three players will be Sam Mewis, Crystal Dunn, and Denise O'Sullivan. So that main starting core of midfielders will come back in for Paul Riley.
Restoring more and more of your starters from their successful playoff run last year and, of course, the year before as well. Denise O'Sullivan, two-time team MVP. When you think of all the amazing players on this squad, that all of her teammates voted her team MVP, that says a lot.
So the three new subs in as we are underway here. Second half has begun at Zion's Nations Bank Stadium. Merrick getting more confidence as this Challenge Cup progresses. It's great to see Paul Riley putting more faith in her as Abby Ercik plays it out wide. Daniels back to Erceg. This one played inside, and here's Debinha. Debinha lofting it forward, and that one just too far. Malay and Lynn Williams in the area. So the three players off for North Carolina. You have Meredith Speck, Kerry Recaro, and Mackenzie Meehan. And here is Sam Mewis getting her first touch of the game. Williams, an offside flag is up.
Nice to see that Paul Riley is leaving second-year player Lauren Malay on the field in her first ever start for the North Carolina. Just 2 sub-appearances last year as a rookie.
Malay just really grew this offseason in large part, he said, because she was going against players like Crystal Dunn, Denise O'Sullivan, Sam Mewis.
What better training environment could you ask for? And speaking of Crystal Dunn, we want to give her an early happy birthday shout out. In a couple of days, she will turn 28. As will backup keeper for Washington Spirit, Devin Kerr. They have the same birthday.
They both will have the day off on Friday, so maybe a little bit of celebration will go on for both teams.
Party in those player team bubbles.
Got to enjoy your time with your teammates and enjoy those off days when you can. Bledsoe looking for someone to pass. Square ball as Dunn was approaching Bledsoe. Dunn, a former Spirit member.
She was their #1 draft pick in 2014. led them to 3 straight playoff runs, as we talked about, and she had both goals in the 2016 championship game where they ultimately fell to the Western Air Clash.
Corner kick coming now for the Spirit here early in this first couple minutes of the second half.
Of course, Crystal Dunn left after that 2016 season, spent a year playing with Chelsea in the FA Women's Super League, returned in 2018, was acquired by North Carolina in a trade with the Spirit, and that's how the Spirit ended up with Ashley Hatch.
Lavelle sets up that left foot. Towards the 6, up by Daniels. Millay, and she'll simply play this away to midfield. Used to the 8-year vet. That one chopped down. Millay once again. Trying to get Dunn on the wing. Dunn sends it in with her left. Williams had a chance there. She was trying to gather that ball in. Almost would have liked to have seen her just take a volley attempt. Try to get something on frame. But here, Dunn just doing all the work to get this one across.
Great ball from that left flank. Surprisingly not coming from Jaylene Daniels. Williams can't quite make the turn on it to get it on frame. But bringing in those 3 perennial starters, that tells us what Paul Riley is thinking. I want goals, I want to win.
Paul Riley and Richie Burke, great friends, both from Liverpool. They have a little Liverpool rivalry that they go back and forth with one another.
Probably celebrated Liverpool winning the Premier League recently.
Hatch. Nielsen, the third-year player, began her career with OL Reign. Grady. Say it was Reign FC at the time. And now OL Reign, as they saw new ownership. Williams towards the area, inside. Shot and sneaks that by on the near post. And Lynn Williams has her second goal of the NWSL Challenge.
We've been waiting for that goal, Josh. What a way to start the second half. Ball starts up that right flank. Lynn Williams trips and keeps on going. Doing most of the work herself here and getting it on her left foot to go near post. That's some clinical finishing. Aubrey Bledsoe not being able to react quick enough on the near post. She probably would have been able to stretch to her right. Sliding on that turf. Great finish for North Carolina. 1-0 just 5 minutes into the second half.
Secret virtual watch party powered by Google Meet, but now Lynn Williams and Rachel Daly both with 2 goals here in this NWSL Challenge Cup. 2016, Lynn Williams Golden Boot winner.
They do plan to have NWSL Challenge Cup awards for Golden Boot, Golden Glove, and of course MVP of the entire tournament.
Oh wow, it was impressive seeing the work there by Lynn Williams to get into the area and then sneak that one by Aubrey Bledsoe. She was nearly hugging that near post, but Williams able to create enough space, and now Merrick takes the ball away. Sullivan. That one just too far for Doherty Howard.
And now that we have a goal, Josh, I can share my stat about scoreless games, because I didn't want to mention it earlier if we were still scoreless. The last season, there were just 7 scoreless games in the entire season of 108 regular season matches. But of those 7, Josh, 6 involved either the Spirit or North Carolina. So we're very happy that we got a goal. And I'm thinking we're going to see some more.
Hatch. Bailey. Able to get that one through. Lavelle. Too much weight on it, but off of Kaylee Kurtz. Now the Spirit will have their second corner of this second half. You see a great look at Lynn Williams. Scored in stoppage time on Saturday to give North Carolina Courage the victory. And right now, she has lone goal in this one.
She's got 50 goals in her regular season career for NWSL, 3 in playoffs and now 2 in the NWSL Challenge Cup.
The service by Doherty Howard. And that one cleared up.
Our referee, Lucas Spala, blowing the whistle, running over there. He officiated 3 games in NWSL last year. Also does a lot of USL.
Paul Riley switching things up at half, bringing in 3 new players, and right now it's paid off dividends here in this opening 8 minutes of the second half. Merrick. It's a return pass. Hatch steals it away. Hatch trying to squeeze through Denise O'Sullivan and Sam Ewis as she is brought down to the turf. Ewis wants an explanation. Ewis didn't start tonight. She was one of those 3 coming off the bench. Ewis with an assist on that game-winning goal on Saturday.
I like that she's asking Lucas Spala for an explanation. Like, wait, really? Can you explain to me why that was called?
Now Sullivan will set up. Brandy Sullivan, a 3-time All-American at Stanford University.
First round draft pick 2018. We have a lot of those in this game. Like Rose Lavelle, right there, number 10 for Spirit, the 2017 number 1 draft pick, selected by Boston Breakers. And of course, she was picked up by the Spirit the following year in the dispersal draft.
Kurtz plays it to Daniels. We'll see if she continues to bomb forward here in the second half, or with the new substitutions, if she lays back a little bit more. Merrick on the right side. Try to thread that one through to Crystal Dunn. For Addison Merrick, Paul Riley thinks that she has a lot of potential moving forward, but says that she's great 1v1 on the defensive side. Really excited what the rookie out of Kansas brings to his club, and she's getting more playing time with some of the players out in this one.
And that was their biggest area of concern in the offseason, that right back position. With Heather O'Reilly's retirement and also Merritt Mathias suffering a knee injury last September. She is with the team. Mathias is with the team in Utah. Very unlikely to be part of this tournament.
Merrick missed swings on that, and that allows Lavelle to get on the ball. Lavelle. Feist, and Feist falling down, plays that out behind. It looked like Washington had a little bit going there as Merrick mistimed her attempt. Just nothing on that for Feist. Nice ball to Dabinia. Dabinia, and that one grabbed out by Bledsoe. She dove out to make sure that Lauren Millay would not be on the receiving end of that pass. But Dabinia showing off that vision right there.
Great save by Bledsoe. Come off her line, grab that ball, not wait for anybody to get a foot on it or cause traffic around her. Just take it, own it, and get it out of there.
Millay trying to play that one in to Dunn, but Lavelle coming over to help. See Lavelle come back deep on that to defend. Bailey. Schuster giving chase, but she runs out of space. And now too much weight on that pass. Careless turnover for the Courage. Brady brings this one all the way back, and Spirit not getting away from their game, still building up from the back, working with patience. A lot of teams, when North Carolina gets that early lead, they'll get a little flustered and get away from their game plan, but Richie Burke sticking with it.
Saturday night, he didn't make any subs until about the 65th minute, and then he started making a lot. So we'll see what happens when we get to that mark in the game. So far, every team has used all 5 subs in each game, except North Carolina only used 4 in their opener. Now, unlike regular soccer league play, for this tournament, and MLS is doing the same thing. We've seen the same thing in Bundesliga. Teams are allowed up to 5 subs, and they can dress their entire roster, so they're not limited to 18. Thinking that looks like sky blue. I was like, I think that's not Hokawasumi. I would guess each team has a section where they're allowed to sit and can't mix with the other teams.
That's what we've heard. We'd heard different coaches been watching these games, like Craig Harrington has been there.
And of course, Vlatko Ananovsky, U.S. national team coach, he's in Utah, not part of the bubble of any of the teams, so he's not interacting with any of these players, but he has been watching games.
And now Jordan DiBiase will step on the field, and she'll replace Maggie Doherty-Howard. Jordan DiBiase, 4 goals her rookie campaign. She started on Saturday for Richie Burke. First sub now for the Spirit. We'll see how she helps in that midfield. Feist. And then Daniels ripped down by Feist. Jalen Daniels 2 times in her career last year, and in 2015 played every minute of every game.
That does not happen a lot, especially when you include playoffs.
Done. Merrick. Dabinia. Back post, and that one finds the corner. And North Carolina has their second goal. And who else is it from? Lynn Williams with the brace.
And she leads the Golden Boot race now. 3 goals in 2 games. I've said it before, no American has scored more NWSL goals. But look at the work by Dabinia, sending it across. I love the lunging header from Williams to get that past Bledsoe. Not a lot Bledsoe can do when it's an at close range header. I don't know, was that a knee goal or a head goal?
Either way,
but she
she
sacrificed her whole body to get there. 2 goals in pretty quick succession, just 11 minutes apart.
Dabinia now looking to add on. Malay turns away. Lewis. She'll go outside to Daniels. Daniels with that left foot. That one denied by Huster. It was a quiet afternoon in the first game where it was scoreless, but right now Lynn Williams with 2 goals, 3 here in the NWSL Challenge Cup.
And this is the benefit of having so many veteran players on the field for your team, especially players who have played together so much. This core of the North Carolina Courage has spent so many seasons together.
Daniels. Williams. Kurtz. Kurtz with her first start here in the NWSL Challenge Cup as this is played out to Daniels. Daniels charging forward, and a great tackle there by Huster. It's been a good battle tonight between Tori Huster and Jaylene Daniels on that left wing. Dunn. DiBiase, good fight there, but Dunn comes out on top. Trying to play it over to Lynn Williams. But you saw the immediate difference this team has made in North Carolina with the substitutions of Crystal Dunn, Denise O'Sullivan, and Sam Ewis. But really, in this game, Lynn Williams taking over the goal scoring, but Dabinia has been spectacular as well. So creative. Had a great shot opportunity in the first half. But she is a game changer.
Finding those channels, feeding the ball where it needs to go. She can provide or she can score.
One of the things that Paul Riley talked about with Dabinia, she's always had the offensive talent, but then she started to develop the defensive talent, and she has become a completely different player. Lavelle. And here's Dabinia once again, trying to find Dunn. Right there is stopped. This one played back to Bledsoe. Aubrey Bledsoe was tough in the opening 45. A different trio coming on has helped change this game. Staub with that left foot. O'Sullivan. Irish international gets a return pass.
Originally joined NWSL with the Houston Dash in 2016. Midway through the 2017 season, after coaching change of the Dash, she wasn't in the 18 anymore. She has to be released so she could find a team in Europe. She's waived. North Carolina see that, call her and say, we want to take you, will you stay in the U.S.? And they convinced her, and wow, their loss is 10 times North Carolina's game.
Two championships for Denise O'Sullivan and North Carolina Courage. Lavelle trying to slot that one through. Feist now trying to put pressure on Ewis. Urseg. Dunn pushing forward. Millay, Daniels trying to find Williams once again. Well, we nearly had a hat trick the other day with the Houston Dash and Rachel Daly. Daniels trying to give Lynn Williams a chance there on that pass.
Lynn Williams with 2 career NWSL hat tricks. Last one coming last September in a crazy 6-0 win for North Carolina at Portland.
The delivery takes a deflection.
Great defensive pressure by Spirit to quickly change the attack.
Hatch has Feist to her left. And then Hatch pushed over by Kaylee Kurtz. And we'll have a kick here for Washington. Ashley Hatch, the former North Carolina Courage player, was there her rookie season. 7 goals last year for Washington, led the way.
Tough foul. Malay from behind. No, sorry, Kurtz from behind. Hatch going down hard on the turf. And we saw in the game earlier today, Josh, the kind of the turf burn that Lindsey Rand suffered.
And now we'll have another substitution for North Carolina. Kristen Hamilton will come in for Lauren Malay.
Hamilton having such an excellent year last year.
Headed up.
Becoming only the second player to get 4 goals in 1 game.
Played down the wing. Soccer fans, the official shop of the NWSL is coming soon. Visit NWSLshop.com now and sign up to be the first to receive special offers and promotions. NWSLshop.com, the official place to gear up and support your favorite team, coming soon.
And I did get confirmation, Josh, they will offer international shipping. So you definitely want to go sign up. So as soon as the store open, which we're hearing is the quarterfinal round, you'll get some special offers and you'll get first news of it happening. Don't have confirmation on goalkeeper jerseys, but I'm sure once the store gets started, we'll see more and more merch available. And hey, why not tweet at NWSL right now, international fans, and let them know what merch do you want to see. Jerseys, goalkeeper jerseys, shorts, pride merch, hoodies.
Scarves can have that in there.
Oh, well, scarves. They better have scarves.
Sabinia sends it towards the back post. Looking for Hamilton. Aubrey Bledsoe right there. Hamilton, a good target to look for. 9 goals last year in the NWSL. And then goes over to the W League and has 7 in Australia.
And I don't even think she was able to play the whole season in Australia, but what a great breakout year for Hamilton, even earning her first cap with the U.S. national team last fall.
Now we will have 2 substitutions for the Spirit. And now coming out will be Andy Sullivan. Andy Sullivan so consistent in that midfield. And on will come Ashley Sanchez. Sanchez, the 4th overall pick in last year's NWSL draft.
Just the 3rd player in league history to be drafted after leaving college early to play for NWSL.
Sanchez had the start on Saturday, but coming off as a substitution tonight. Jay Bossier will be the other player coming in, another Stanford team member, getting her first action here in the NWSL Challenge Cup. She was a part of that 2017 National Championship squad. There's 4 other members here for Washington that played on that 17 team. And here's one of them, McGrady. Dabinia right there to cut out that pass. That one takes deflection off Bailey, but comes right back to Merrick. Stepping in front of that pass. Now Dunn in possession. Williams, Hamilton in front, but in the offsides position. Huster. Nice slotted ball, but unable to get to it first was Hatch. Ursag, 4-time member of the New Zealand national team.
She played every minute of the last 4 Women's World Cups for the Kiwis, or excuse me, the Football Ferns is actually their official team name.
Kurtz will play this one all the way back to the Canadian keeper LeBay. Lewis at midfield, turns away.
Erceg was also the 2018 NWSL Defender of the Year, one of the few years where the winner wasn't Becky Sauerbrunn.
Becky Sauerbrunn, 4 times she has won that award. You might, when she's done playing, switch to the Becky Sauerbrunn award.
Exactly.
Dabinia, she has been so effective tonight. NWSL Championship MVP last year.
Started all 4 games for Brazil at last summer's Women's World Cup. She joined the Courage right when they became the Courage, right when they moved to North Carolina. Had a good first season. Unfortunately got injured pretty early into the semifinals of the playoffs, so couldn't really be part of their playoff run in 2017. But 2018 and 2019, both times she scored the first goal
Sanchez
in the
with
final.
some fancy work. Feist. See the composure on the youngster, Addison Merrick. Addison Merrick being thrown in there. Well, she's had plenty of time to work with him during preseason. That's a big leap from college to going and playing for the North Carolina Courage and all the expectations that Paul Riley has for his team members. Kurtz. She'll work it forward. Hamilton. O'Sullivan. Dabinia. O'Sullivan goes down to the turf. Lewis outside of Daniel. She can't get her toe on it. Well, Jen, you said we weren't going to have a tie in this one, and right now, your prediction's
right.
living up to it.
We've had 14 goals so far in this tournament, Josh, and 11 of them have come in the second half. It's all about that second half action. And of course, when you're bringing on World Cup champs Crystal Dunn and Sam Mewis, along with Denise O'Sullivan, into the mix at halftime, very different game plan from these two coaches than what we've seen in the earlier games.
Hatch was trying to find Sanchez, but right in the way of that pass was Merrick once again. Dabinia. Hamilton striding forward. Square ball. She is looking for Dabinia. Nearly had her at the spot. Williams going at Huster. The cross. Sanchez turns, but right there coming up was Merrick. I think Sanchez thought she had more time. Nearly dispossessed on the ball.
About 15 minutes to go, Josh. Still plenty of time for both teams to score again. And we saw 3 goals coming after the 75th minute in North Carolina's opener. Of course, 2 by North Carolina. Got to factor in stoppage as well.
Sullivan just can't get there in time.
North Carolina can still make 1 more sub. Washington still has 2 left.
Hydration break here as we'll take a look back at the 2 goals in this one. Lynn Williams very active today and being rewarded in the 50th minute. Here you have Lynn Williams gets around Sam Staub, now gets into the box and then just sneaks it by that left arm going near post on Aubrey Bledsoe. Bledsoe trying to take away the wide part of the frame, leaving that near post just open a little bit And that's where Lynn Williams would go for the first goal. That would give her 2 goals here in the NWSL Challenge Cup, tying Rachel Daly at the time. But here, Dabinia gets in towards the inline, back post, and right there, was it a knee, was it a foot? Either way, Lynn Williams will take it as she gets her 2nd goal of the night. She now has 3 in this NWSL Challenge Cup as she leads the Golden Boot race. And more importantly, she gives North Carolina Courage a little bit more breathing room here with just over 13 minutes remaining.
She was the Golden Boot winner in 2016 with 11 goals, edging Kalia Watt, then Kalia Ohai, who had the same number of goals but fewer assists. And since she returned to the U.S. national team last fall when Blanco and Inoska took over, she's had several goals as well.
Here you see Richie Burke hoping that his team can find that first goal and then ultimately the equalizer. Both these teams with 3 points.
The challenge is North Carolina has such depth on the bench. Richie Burke has players he can bring in, but he's not going to match the caliber of what Paul Riley was able to bring in off the bench.
Ursek drops back, Sanchez giving chase.
Especially when you've lost your key playmaker, Rose Lavelle coming out, also Andy Sullivan. This is a slight shift to let's get the young kids some time. One player can't do it herself, right?
Done. And that one hits off Staub. Crystal Dunn, the former Spirit member. Sam Staub there in her 2nd season. And now we will see first-year player Haley Mace come in and replace Lynn Williams.
And so for the first time, Josh, North Carolina is using all 5 subs. Last Saturday against Portland, just used 4.
Haley Mason assist in Saturday's game on that first goal to Dabinia. Lewis sends it in. She was looking to the near post, but that one being cut off by Paige Nielsen. Lewis steals it back. O'Sullivan punches it through. Merrick. O'Sullivan turns away. Urseg. LeBay. LeBay hoping for 10 more minutes to hold on to this clean sheet. Last year she had 8 on the season. Pena. Daniels. Lewis. Scoops it up and over Williams. Williams trying to thread that one through to Dunn. Cleared off the inline. Sanchez moves it up. Hatch. Sanchez from Hatch. Might sneak that one by Merrick. Dunn in the channel. Another corner here for the Courage.
Dunn really enjoying getting up in the attack, not having to play outside back like she does for the national team.
Now we will see 2 more subs for Washington. And North Carolina will also have a substitution. And now Lynn Williams will head off with 2 goals, and Haley Mace will come on.
And that means North Carolina's used all 5 subs. Haley Mace, number 2 overall pick out of UCLA in 2019 opted not to play for Sky Blue, went and played in Australia and Sweden. And then North Carolina obtained her rights from Sky Blue in a trade, sending McCall Zerboni to New Jersey.
And now Natalie Jacobs will come on for the Spirit. Jacobs, the rookie out of USC, number 13th overall.
Her first pro appearance.
And Ashley Hatch will also come on, and that will bring on rookie Katie McClure, the 23rd pick in this year's draft.
And another player making her professional soccer debut.
McClure and Merrick actually played together at the University of Kansas. That one well over the back post. Dabinia. Daniels double team there in the corner, somehow gets by Mewis. And that one sent away by Paige Nielsen, but only as far as O'Sullivan. Dunn trying to turn. Chested down. Mace just couldn't get her footing there. Mace with an assist on Saturday, looking for her first chance on target there.
Paul Riley has described her as their best finisher. It's surprising to hear from someone who hasn't played for the team before, with such a goal-scoring team, and someone who a lot of us thought would be a defender. Whistle had already been blown there.
And now Aubrey Bledsoe will look to get this going a little bit more quickly as time trickles down.
We saw that late push by Utah yesterday. Dash was up 3-1, and boom, they came back to tie it 3-3.
McClure, shot, and that one goes over the crossbar. Old Katie McClure coming on and gave it a go.
Nice run, nice idea, just not on target. The way to keep the Spirit in the game.
Katie McClure, All-American, first team Big 12. We saw last year Washington build for the draft, and Richie Bird feels like he has a few more pieces.
Jay Boissiere there, another player out of Stanford. Didn't play in the league last year, actually went over to play in the French league. And Richie Burke signed her in the offseason.
Kurtz drops it back. Kurtz with the long ball. Merrick. Dabinia. Jacobs drops it off. Gets the return pass. Stop. O'Sullivan. Mewis. Finds the rookie Merrick. Merrick towards the end line. Sends it towards the near post, but she slipped as she sent that pass away, and looked like Kristen Hamilton slipped as well, and now Merrick looks like she has a cramp by the way she's stretching out that calf. Played the full 90 minutes on Saturday, and she's gonna get the full 90 today. Nielsen. The North Carolina Curds, they're looking for their second win of the NWSL Challenge Cup, and that one blocked away. They're looking to hand Washington their first loss. Sanchez turns. DiBiase trying to escape the pressure of Mewis. Mace. O'Sullivan. It always seems like when North Carolina scores, they score in bunches. 2 tonight to match their total that they had on Saturday.
And LeBay getting that shutout, that's got to feel good. We hadn't seen many shutouts in the tournament until we had back-to-back scoreless games.
Done. Dispossessed, but comes right back to Daniels. Daniels always just seems to be in the right spot at the right time. O'Sullivan and the Courage just slowing things down here. To make sure that they escaped unscathed. Maybe an early birthday present coming for Crystal Dunn. And for LeBay, a happy Canada Day as she's looking for a win here on July 1st.
And with this result, North Carolina would jump to the top of the standings with 6 points.
Hamilton. Debinha has Mace inside. Mace, oh, just sent it over the crossbar. Mace nearly had her first NWSL goal.
Debinha, of course, once again creating the play, sending it across. Mace tries to turn it into goal, sends it high with her right foot. It's all Debinha down that flank. She's really the MVP of this game.
2-0, and North Carolina still trying to get a third goal. That's the one thing, they never quit. They are not afraid to keep adding on to the total.
Hashtag no finish line, as they've said. And in this tournament, every goal is important. It's not just the win. You might need that goal differential or tiebreaker of total goals scored to separate you in the standings in the final seeding for the quarterfinals.
Right now in the 2 games, 4 goals total for this North Carolina Courage Club. That at the moment is the best total. They'll also have the most important factor in there, the 2 wins. Sanchez just over the boot. Now we'll have 4 minutes of stoppage time. Great look there at UCLA's Ashley Sanchez. Sanchez, she's another player that can create. We'll see how she continues to grow here. Boissier. This one played back. Staub. She'll give it all the way back to Aubrey Bledsoe.
And for both of these teams, their next matchups are going to be pretty tough as well. North Carolina in a rematch of last year's championship game taking on Chicago Red Stars, admittedly a very different Chicago Red Stars from 2019. Spirit having to face the Thorns, who had a pretty frustrating draw, scoreless draw today against Chicago.
McGrady. Staub pushes it up the pitch, but no one there for the Spirit. And now McClure drops it back. Lofting ball. Merrick. Another solid game for Addison Merrick. And now she looks forward to Kristen Hamilton. Aubrey Bledsoe will let this roll out.
Hamilton, a draft pick way back in 2014 out of Denver for Western New York Flash. slowly worked her way up into a pretty deep lineup, has stuck with the club all this time, and Paul Riley has stuck with her. She really took advantage of the World Cup window she had last year. 2 hat tricks last season.
McGrady. Team Washington here try to go through Sanchez. McClure. Throw coming here for the Spirit. Spirit will be handed their first loss of this NWSL Challenge Cup. They did have chances to get goals, just unable to get anything by Stephanie LeBay tonight.
And of course, Stephanie LeBay had a little bit of an assist from the post on one of those attempts. But Carolina, 11 shots compared to Spirit's 5.
McClure sends it back post. I want to the top of the box. Mace. Daniel's another one of those players. We talked about Dabinia having a very good game today and how she's the MVP of this one.
Especially that first half. I think Daniel's bringing it up the flank.
Oh, and then she slips. But then as you have the 3 subs come on early in the second half, she stayed back a little bit more. Urseg out to Daniels. But just so many different weapons that Paul Riley has to use. And we saw it used very well today in Jaylene Daniels, Lynn Williams, Dabinia. And there is the final whistle. North Carolina comes out on top 2-0. A brace from that woman, Lynn Williams. Jen, your thoughts real quick?
North Carolina proving what we already knew. They're the most dominant team in NWSL in this tournament. Having that firepower coming off the bench, not much Richie Burke and the Washington Spirit could do against that.
Well, 3 more points now for North Carolina as they sit atop of the standings with 6. As we take a look at the upcoming schedule, more action beginning Saturday afternoon.
It's going to be a great 4th of July weekend, Josh. Utah Royals Sky Blue face off in the day game. Houston Dash take on OL Reign in the night game. And then Sunday, North Carolina, Chicago in a rematch of last year's championship game. Portland Thorns, Washington Spirit. Portland still no win. Washington, they want to get back in a winning groove.
Well, now North Carolina, the only team with 2 wins here in this NWSL Challenge Cup. Lynn Williams now with 3 total goals in this Challenge Cup. And what a shot there by Dabinia. She was all over the place, so creative, and gave her team a little bit extra tonight here against this Washington Spirit squad. For Paul Riley and his team, they improved to 2-0, 6 points in first place in the standings for our crew. Jen Cooper, I'm Josh Toll. We'll see you Saturday afternoon right back here, the NWSL Challenge Cup.